Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Let's Talk Jersey Wrestling. I am your host, Andy. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that way you can be notified of any uploads that I'm going to have throughout this time. I do have some new music that I'm working on that should be uploaded soon, plus new episodes of Let's Talk Jersey Wrestling, plus any highlight videos that I may have. Also, don't forget to purchase my book, Devil You Didn't Know. It's available on Amazon right now. The ebook is $3. The paperback, I believe, is $7, and if you're a member of Kindle Unlimited, it's free to read. All three ways will help make the movie for the film. So, all right, so let's get into it. May was an interesting month. Basically, May 16th, I went to a Gremlin House wrestling show. They had their show. It was called Go Bane. But unfortunately, about a couple of days before the event happened, there was a bunch of allegations and accusations going on against the owner of the company, which you can Google it, look it up, you'll see everything. They did also. A lot of the wrestlers that were supposed to be there ended up opting out of going due to all the allegations, which I don't blame them after everything that was going through. They did still hold their show. I did still end up going because everybody started pulling out like a day beforehand, and I already had my plans to go and everything. So curiosity kind of hit me, so I decided to go see how many people were gonna be there and what wrestlers that they were gonna bring. Which when I showed up, they ended up having. They were an hour late into opening the doors, only because they didn't get the ring till like 5:30 at night. There was a sizable crowd there too, so a lot of people there in support. Some people didn't even know what was going on, that they were expecting to see some of the wrestlers that were going to show and not knowing what was going on. But the only named person that they had that showed was Tomiko Fatu. He showed up. He traveled 6 hours to be there, and they had a very skeleton crew. It was kind of a shoddy ring. They didn't have the banners like they normally do. They had no commentary. They had no camera crew or nothing. I believe Haley, also known as Raw Face Baby, who's Yaya the Gremlin's girlfriend. She was taping everything. I was also videotaping everything. And then the very first match, they brought Tomiko Fatu out, which they were waiting for somebody to come out to face him. So Hyena Hex ended up being his opponent, which he ended up squashing basically. The second match that they had was Menace, who is Rawface Baby's father. He came out and was wondering who he was going to face, because he was supposed to face, I believe, Robbie, the GM, who was a no-show. So they brought Velcro out, and he came out to fight, and Menace won that one, and also said that was it for him. He's retired. He left his boots in the middle of the ring, and bade his farewell basically. Then they broke into an intermission, and then Velcro came out, performed one of his songs, so we had like a little rap performance as well. After that, there was a wrestler named Face. He came out, demanded somebody to fight, and Tomiko came out and wrestled his second match, and he ended up winning again. And then Yaya came out, addressed the crowd, thanked everybody for their support. as and he was heckled, and some guys like, oh, you should have canceled, you should have closed down, and all that, and he disregarded that, and then went on to being saying about Menace that, yeah, even though he's retired, who wants to see him beat the crap out of him? So he's like, this is my show, so I'm going to take him out, put him down for good. So he goes to the back of the ring, he goes to the backstage, and then Menace pushes him out. They started fighting in the ring, and while they were doing that, some of the guys that heckled him started to leave, and then they, I guess, picked a fight with one of the guys at the merch table, and that kind of distracted everybody, including the wrestlers in the ring. Then they got escorted out by security, and then you look back in the ring, and Yaya had Menace pinned and won it, and they ended the night. So you only got a chance to see like four matches, and that's about it. And so it wasn't too bad, not too good, not too great. I mean, did see some action and everything. But now they've made an announcement that Rawface Baby is going to be the new CEO of Gremlin House. Their next show is going to be at the Mecca on June 19th, where they've already announced some matches. Tomiko Fatu's making his return. He's going up against Devantes. So they're going to see if Tomiko could keep up his undefeated streak, or if Devante will take him out. They've got the first round of the Greta tournament, which they are going to have Alex Gracia making her debut. She will be up against Mila Moore for her debut. They've got Hyena Hex is coming back. He's going to be facing Parquita Negra. And then they're going to have like a faction match. It's going to be the Shadow Flock, which is going to be Velcro, Tay-Rock, and the Crow versus Los Castores. I forget the name of the group, but they haven't really even shown pictures. Like, no one knows who they are or anything like that. So we'll wait and see with that, and we'll wait and see if any other announcements for that. Then the following week, I went to see Titan Championship Wrestling. That's the first time I've ever, like I found out about them a couple of weeks ago. They were having a show in Toms River. I'm like, so I'm like, all right, let me give them a shot. It seems like a really good card. And yeah, down in Toms River at a skating rink. And I went down there, and that was a fantastic show. It was their 100th event called Rise of the Titans. They had the first match that they had was a Goddesses of War Championship match, which Amity LeVay was defending her Goddesses of War Championship against Emily Saxton, Francesca Chini, and Elle Valentine. It was a four corners elimination match, which Elle made her entrance first. Then it was Emily, then Francesca, but then she got attacked by Amity, and then Emily got eliminated first by Elle. Elle got eliminated by Emily, and then Francesca ended up eliminating Amity, becoming the new Goddesses of War champion. So congratulations to her. Can't wait to see more of her. I believe she's also from GTS Wrestling as well. So, all these independent stars, they're in multiple promotions and everything. Then the second match was a 2 out of 3 falls count match. It was Pedro Pablo versus Junior Flow, the Zombie King, which I believe Junior Flow was the one that ended up winning that. Then they had a factions match. It was Team Billy versus Team Gold. It was to see who was going to take control of Titan Championship Wrestling, which Billy was giving Sean Gold a bunch of chances to back out of the match and join him and everything. But Shawn was like, no, we're going to keep going. And it was an 8-man elimination match, so it was 4-on-4. And eventually it came down to like Shawn's 2 against Billy's 4. But then Billy had 2 guys eliminated, so then it was 2-on-2, and then it became 2-on-1. It was Billy's 2 against Shawn's 1, and they were like, and Billy was like, "You can still back out," and everything, and Shawn was making it seem like everything was gonna go well and everything, and then Shawn turns on his guy and ends up joining Billy in the end, and then they had an intermission. After the intermission, they had a middleweight championship match, no disqualification. It was the champion Justin Vane versus Steve Mack, which Justin Vane retained his championship, which I believe he was part of the Devout, which is a small faction with Amity LeVay and Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone. Then they had the main event was a fatal 4-way for the Titan Championship Wrestling heavyweight championship. It was the champion Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone, and he was defending against Jack Martins, Bear Bronson, who's one half of the TNA Tag Champs, which was great seeing him live, and Michael Fain from the Turjanian Talent Agency, the TTA, which was together with Harry Turjanian and Emily Saxton. Eventually, Jack Martins and Bear, they ended up taking their fight to the backstage, which left Dr. Sleep and Michael Fain. And eventually then out pops Shawn and Billy and all them, and they wound up helping Michael Fain win the championship. And then they started to beat down on Dr. Sleep, which then Amity and Justin Vane, they all wound up coming out to try to help him out. And then Justin ended up turning his back on them and taking them out. And then you see a coffin come out, and Shawn and all them brought out, and they put Dr. Sleep and Amity into the coffin, and then brought them to the backstage. So now they have a merger that now they have the Titan Business Agency, which is now like all the leadership together. So it's going to be interesting. They're going to have a show on June 6th, which will be the day after this video releases, called Seaside Showdown 5. Unfortunately, I have a full-time job, so I have to work. So I'll be I can't make it to that one. But then there is going to be another show in September that's going to return to Tom's River that I may end up winding up going to there as well. Up next is WrestlePro. And now we are back with to go over WrestlePro. Sorry about the wardrobe change. The first part of the video I recorded on May 30th, so that way everything was still fresh in my mind. Today is now June 1st, so I'm recording the next part because last night I was at the WrestlePro show, Better Than You, which was an awesome show. I really enjoyed that. WrestlePro is a sister company of AEW, which it's owned by Pat Buck, who is a coach with AEW. So he is able to get a lot of the AEW stars on his shows, which I've gone to a bunch of his shows so far, which I've seen. Matt Cardona had his own show called Always Rawway, for Always Ready, but now he's back with the WWE. I also saw the Danhausen show, very, very nice, very evil show. And now Danhausen is on the WWE. I missed the Killer Smoke show, which had Killer Cross on there just after he got let go from WWE, and he started wrestling in the independent scene. So one of the first shows was WrestlePro. Then I went to their 10-year anniversary show, which set up this show that I just went to called Better Than You, which featured MJF. Which the picture that I'm showing here now, I was wearing my CM Punk shirt, and he sees me in line, and he's like, "The CM Punk shirt has got to go." And I was like looking around, and I'm like, "Me?" And then, and then he's like, "If you're gonna wear that shirt, you won't get a autograph or picture. No way." So I'm like, "Well, what if I turn it inside out?" And he's like, "Bare minimum." So I turned it inside out and got my picture with them. So that was actually really funny. Um, but they had a stacked card. There was about 7 matches. It started at 8 p.m. Ended close to 11 o'clock. Some of the people that you'll see on the WrestlePro shows are like WrestlePro staples. They're constant on just about every show. Some are AEW star people. Some are on TNA. Then there are others that just work the independent scene and work as many shows as they can. Like the very first match that they had. Sorry, I got notes. Lucifer L versus Max Caster first started the show, and that was a great match. Max Caster you'll see on AEW. Lucifer L is you'll always see him on WrestlePro shows. You'll also see him in other promotions like ISPW, I believe, is another one that you'll see him on. That I believe I've seen him in those promotions, some other promotions as well. Which Max Caster ended up winning the match. The second match was MSG, also known as Moonshot. He's part of the Ace of Space Academy with his brother LSG. You got Colton Charles. And there was like big turmoil going on within the group. So they ended up having MSG versus Colton Charles in an I Quit match, which towards the end of the match, Colton Charles ended up handcuffing him to the ropes and started beating him with the kendo stick, and he eventually quit. The third match was Janai Kai. They call her the Kick Demon, which she's a great wrestler. I've seen her wrestle many times throughout different promotions, and she was up against the defending women's champion RJS, Rebecca J. Scott, who ended up retaining her championship. It was a great match. I mean, that went back and forth. It could have gone either which way, but RJS, of course, ended up up on top. Then they had a 6-way scramble for the Garden State Championship, which Justin Carino is the current champion. You'll also find him in other promotions as well. You'll see him in WrestlePro. I believe you'll see him in ISPW as well. He was up against TJ Crawford, AEW's Jay Lethal, Leo Sparrow, El Magnifico, GKM, and that was a wild match, and there was a lot of great spots in there, and a lot of it ended up out of the ring, and finally Justin ended up retaining his championship. Then we had the TNA tag champ Bear Bronson. Got to see him for a second time wrestling. He was up against Vargas, who's also a WrestlePro staple. You'll also see him on ISPW at times wrestling there as well. That was a back and forth, but Vargas ended up winning that match. Then they had a brief intermission. And then when they came back, they had a 4-way tag team match, which had The Verdict versus Dying Breed versus Sent to Slaughter, who were the previous tag team champions. and Busta and the Brain, who's Jordan Oliver and Alec Price, who is on AEW, and the current champs is the Now, and they're both WrestlePro and ACW champions. And when all four teams were out on the screen, the Now ended up showing up saying that they were currently doing some work in Poughkeepsie. One of the guys was injured, so he's not clear to compete yet or anything. But they're like, have fun fighting to see who takes second place, and that they'll see them soon. And so the match went on. That went back and forth. A lot of great spots going on. You at one point you thought that Sent to Slaughter was about to win, but it turned out the Now were there, and they came out and beat up one of the Sent to Slaughter guys, and then the other one was in the ring, and he ended up losing, and the Dying Breed ended up winning. Then they had the WrestlePro Gold Championship on the line. The current champ is LSG. He went up against Richard Holiday, which that was a good match as well. That went back and forth, and finally it was LSG that came back out on top and retained his belt. And then they had the main event was MJF versus Pat Buck. It was student versus teacher. That was also a really great match. I mean, MJF ended up winning at the end, but he was a good sport and even raised Pat Buck's arm up to kind of show some respect. So WrestlePro is a great show to see. Anytime if you get a chance to see it. They also have a YouTube channel, and you can see their shows there. They now live stream their shows there. Once a month, they have like the first Thursday of every month, they have Shotgun Thursday Night, which the next one will be June 4th, which when you see this will be June 5th, so it'll be yesterday. So unfortunately, I can't make it to that, but eventually I'll make it to another show. It's only $20 at the door in Union, New Jersey. So it's a whole lot of fun. And there you have it so far. First few promotions, of course, those that I've seen. Next month I'll go over a couple of more promotions. I'll probably be going over PJW and ETU Wrestling, which are both great promotions. All right, so I'll see you next month.
Yes.